Hello there and welcome to my video on how to defeat Genichiro. Probably not saying that right, but this boss is actually pretty difficult. But there's a few things you need to make sure before you take him on. Firstly, you need to make sure that you defeat the guy beneath Genichiro. He's immediately below the platform, and as you can see, if you just sidestep this guy, attack, sidestep, it kind of throws him off his game and kind of stuns him, and you can quite easily defeat him. It's a bit of a cheese, but you get a prayer bead, which is always good because you can level up with those, so get as many as you can of those. But the most important thing is you need to defeat him to get a special ability that allows you to deflect lightning. Now this is really important for fighting Genichiro, and you'll see later on exactly why. Lightning reversal, this is the ability that I'm talking about. Allows you to absorb the lightning and reverse it back on the person that's casting it, which is going to be Genichiro. Okay, so now we've got that. Oh, and also there's this eel liver you can get. I don't think I actually use this, but you can also use this if you want to, and it reduces lightning. But yeah, it's not essential. Okay, also I would definitely advise defeating Lady Butterfly before defeating Genichiro, because she is an easier fight and she will allow you to increase your attack power. Now you need to make sure your attack power is as high as possible before confronting Genichiro. Level 3 ideally. You can tackle him on level 2 attack power, but you're making things difficult for yourself. When you defeat a boss, you'll get a memory, and then you can use that memory to increase your attack power. It's a bit strange that your attack power doesn't increase automatically, so go to an idol, and then if you go to enhance attack power, and this is the memory for Genichiro because I've defeated him at this point, but you can see my attack power is 3 on the right there. And of course, when you access the memory, you don't have to fight him again. It's a bit misleading. You think, do I have to fight him again? No, it just means that you will just level up. So it's a bit strange, but yeah, don't neglect that, because otherwise you're going to be fighting him underpowered. So now I'm attack power 4. Now also you're going to need some skills. This is advisable. The Ashina Arts skill tree, if you look for the descending carp, this will actually allow you to do more posture damage. And also the ascending carp, again this allows you to do more posture damage. They're passive skills, so they're always worth having, and they really will help you out in this fight because it's all about breaking Genichiro's posture. And also flowing water, this is another really good one to have because it reduces the amount of posture damage that you take from an enemy that has swords. And of course Genichiro is a sword guy, so that really helps in a big way because it allows you to sustain the attack against him. And that's really important because his posture bar drops very quickly. Also you want to make sure you've got the Makiri counter art. Now you should have this by now. It allows you to deflect incoming thrust attacks, so even though they're unblockable, with this Makiri counter skill you can actually deflect them, deal with them, and that's really important because Genichiro does a lot of thrust attacks. Now before we get into the fight, another key thing, this is really important, is knowing how to spam deflect. So I'm pressing L1 on the PlayStation, and this is basically guard, defend, and I'm repeatedly pressing it. Now the reason I'm doing that is so that I can deflect attacks without having to time the deflect. If you just spam it, you can actually deflect most of his attacks, well, pretty much all of his attacks apart from the unblockable ones. So it's a bit of a cheese, I suppose you could say, but everyone seems to do it. It just makes the fight a lot easier. Okay, so now we're ready to actually take him on. What I'm going to do is, as we go through the fight, I'm going to actually tell you about all his different attacks and how to deal with them. And that's the key. It's being able to deal with his attacks and learning them. Press option here to skip the cutscene, get straight into the action. Now, the first thing you'll notice is he will fire an arrow. So definitely dodge to the side straight away to avoid that first incoming arrow, and then he will attack you. Now, I don't know if you noticed that, but he did a bit of a sort of a wind up there. He put the sword behind him and sort of paused. Now, this is a great tell because it means he's going to do a flurry of attacks at you, and you're going to have to straight away spam deflect. So on the PlayStation, as I say, it's L1 bumper button, and you just keep pressing that as fast as you can, and he will launch a flurry of attacks, and you will deflect them all with ease. You don't have to time anything, it just makes things simple. Here come the attacks. Now, notice that at the end of that flurry of attacks, there was a couple of up thrusts. That signifies the end of the attack. So now you're free to attack him. Now, there is a kind of cadence to the battle. What you will find is that the more aggressive you are towards him, the more aggressive he is towards you. So you can actually use that against him. So do a couple of attacks and then be ready for him to attack you. He will then probably do a couple of attacks on you. So it's attack, attack, defend, defend, attack, attack, defend, defend. You'll get into the flow of it, so it will become second nature after a while. Don't just try to constantly attack, 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 attack. It's more attack, defend, attack, defend. Okay, so if you notice there, he moved away from me and I started to spam deflect or guard. Now, the reason I did that is because when he moves away from you, that normally signifies that he may well jump in the air and fire arrows at you. So straight away, I'm assuming he's going to fire arrows. It didn't happen. If it doesn't happen straight away, he's probably not going to do it. So now I'm actually closing the gap on him to get more attacks in, because his posture bar will drop dramatically. So you have to be aggressive. You have to press the attack. So notice there, I did an attack and then he attacked me. So attack, defend. Now he's jumped in the air now. Now when he does this, he's going to do a downward thrust with his sword. So I need to defend that. I could just block it and time the block, because if you time the block, then you kind of deflect the attack and you'll do posture damage on him. So it's always good to try and time your deflections if you can. Or you can just spam deflect. That will work as well. Okay, so now I block that attack. The red kanji symbol, that means the next attack is going to be unblockable. And it will be a thrust attack. It's pretty much always going to happen. When he jumps in the air, he will then come down on the floor and do an unblockable thrust attack. So just be ready for that with the Mikiri counter. Now you push forward and press circle on the PlayStation as he does the thrust, and you can time it right and you will block the attack. You can actually spam it. You can push forward and spam circle as well if you're worried about getting the timing right, but the timing is quite generous. Okay, so there I did the Mikiri counter that dealt with that attack, and of course straight away after that I'm going to try and attack him. But I'm ready because I did a couple of attacks, so I'm ready to defend. I'm not going to continue attacking. Got a couple of attacks in, so it's now defend, defend. Now he did an attack to the one side and then he did an attack to the other. He often does that. So you want to do like defend, one upward attack. He'll probably going to do another one. So you're going to defend that as well. Now my posture bar is nearly broken. If you look at the bottom now, it's nearly broken my posture. So I have to be wary of that. I could actually just jump away from him and hold down guard, which would reduce that posture bar quite quickly. But because I don't want his posture to drop, I'm risking it and I'm carrying on attacking him. Now he's jumped in the air again. Again, I just need to time the block and do the Mikiri counter. Okay, that was successful. Now there was a slight little flash there, a little glint, which means he's going to do that thrust again. Let's actually replay this slowly. And you see that little glint? It's hard to see it, so yeah, just assume at this stage that he's going to do a thrust attack and it's to do the Mikiri counter. Now, you want to actually time the Mikiri counter, so you press circle as the kanji disappears. Don't press circle as the red kanji appears, because then you'll mistime it. The timing is quite generous, but you have to sort of delay it. Wait until the kanji disappears and then do the Mikuri counter. Now he backed away. Now straight away I'm thinking he's going to jump up in the air and actually let loose a volley of arrows at me. I'm not looking for this to happen, I'm expecting it. Don't think, is it going to happen? Just expect it to happen every time. So straight away I'm spam blocking. Now if he backs away, jumps in the air and doesn't do the arrows, it's no big deal. But you just want to be ready. Just assume he's going to do it. Now he closed the gap coming towards me, and often he will let off an arrow or two when he does that. So again, just be ready as he's coming towards you. Spam deflect or spam guard. Now he got in an attack and I saw an opening because he was sort of stunned there. Now, if you notice there, his head went down and then he rushed towards me. And a red unblockable attack is about to happen. But this is actually a grab attack he has. So, if he doesn't jump in the air, if he just puts his head down and runs towards you, then what you want to do is just jump away from this, because otherwise he will grab you and do a lot of damage. Now, of course, I jump away and he misses the grab. That leaves him open for an attack, but I kind of moved away a bit too far. Just finished the death blow. I'm taking the opportunity to heal here. Again, you've got that cadence of the attack. So it's defend and he attacks me. So I'm expecting him to do one or two or maybe three attacks. And then after that, he'll kind of be sort of tired, I suppose you could say. He'll want a little rest. And that's my opportunity to attack him a few times. Again, he's jumped in the air. I don't know if you noticed. I'll replay that slowly. But there was a glint that tells me he's going to do a sweep attack. So this is new. Once you get that first death blow, look out for this sweep attack. He won't do the forward thrust all the time. He'll actually favour this sweep attack. And I didn't even notice this. When I was fighting him, I didn't even realise he was doing this. I thought he was doing the forward thrust and wondering why I was missing my Mikuri counters. I wasn't observant. I wasn't realising that he had a new attack. Again, he's going to jump in the air. Again, he's probably going to do a sweep and I probably won't realise it and I'll get hit again. Yeah, you saw that glint. He does a little twirl. It's a low sweep. I should jump in the air, jump on his head, or just jump away. And again, I get hit by this because I'm thinking it's going to be a forward thrust. For the second phase, he favours the sweep. You see, I missed there that block. I should have expected another attack. I should have blocked more quickly. So again, it just comes with practice, really. He's jumping in the air, probably going to do an unblockable sweep attack. Obviously, don't forget to block this downward thrust, and it's going to be probably a sweep. Yeah, it's going to be a sweep. Now, I did the right thing this time. I actually moved away. So that's probably the best thing to do. Stage 2 is just to move away, or you could jump on his head. If you can read it right and you can read that it's going to be a sweep, jump on his head. It probably will be a sweep most of the time. Again, I got caught out by that third attack. Should have been ready for that with the block. I did the wind up there, so I know there's going to be a flurry of attacks. Needs to start spamming L1, the deflect, And of course, spamming it means you will actually deflect rather than just block. So you will actually do posture damage to him as he's attacking you. So if you notice there, his posture bar actually went up because I was spam deflecting those attacks. And of course now he's open for me to attack him because he finished that flurry of attacks. Yeah, I got hit there. This definitely isn't the perfect fight, but you know, I'm still in it. I've got 3 health left. Now, what I'm going to do here is get a heal off. So whenever you try and drink from the flask at any sort of distance from Genichiro, he will fire an arrow at you, and you will hear the creak of the bow as the arrow is drawn back. And then there's a short pause before he lets loose the arrow. Wait for that short pause and then dodge to the side. Okay, I mistimed it, I got hit, but that's what you should do, is wait for that sound of the bow, a short pause, and just as you finish drinking, dodge to the side. Again, you saw he drew his sword back. There was a short pause there. He was winding up for a flurry. My posture's nearly broken, so the smart thing to do here would be to back off because he's probably going to break my posture at this point. I should back off really and hold down L1 to get my posture back down. And he does break my posture. So that was, you know, a bit foolish on my part. Again, not the perfect fight. Okay, so I'm going to use my resurrect. Unfortunately, he's jumping in the air. He's probably going to do a sweep attack again. He does. Glint of the sword, sweep attack. Flurry of attacks. Just spam defend, spam defend. Last 2 up thrusts. Now my opportunity to attack him. But I didn't. Unblockable. Yeah, he was going to grab me. Okay, yeah, I dodged those arrows. I should have spammed, defended that. Now, if you noticed, I got that heal off properly then. Let's have a quick look at that again. Slow motion. He draws the arrow back. I hear the creak. I wait for a moment. Then I just dodge to the side and you should miss the arrow. He will always fire at you, normally always fire at you when you try and do a heal. So you're going to have to learn that. It takes a little bit of practice. Again, as he was moving towards me, he let off an arrow. I was spam deflecting. Anticipate that. Again, he backed off. I just assumed he's going to jump in the air and fire arrows at me, so I started to spam deflect immediately. Don't wait to see if he's going to do that. Just assume he's going to do it. Oh, nearly got him. Again, he backed off, jumped straight in the air. If he doesn't jump straight in the air, then he's probably not going to do it. And you saw me do a heal there, and I dodged to the side knowing that arrow was going to come in. Okay, so in this part of the fight, there's pretty much just one thing he does new, and that is the lightning. And this is what you need the lightning reversal for. And I'm going to show you how to do that. I love these in-game cutscenes. Oh, is derobing? Bits of armor coming off. He's a cool looking character. This is a really cool fight. Got some long forearms there. Against the lightning. Now the first thing he's going to do is do a jump thrust attack at us. Here we go. Mikuri counter this. He will always do that. Now he jumps in the air. I'll show you that again. He kind of dips down and then jumps up. So you should wait until he's at the top of his jump and then you can jump, and he should hit you with the lightning, and then you'll fall back down, and just before you hit the floor, you need to press the attack button. So just before you land, hit the attack button, and it should reflect the lightning back at him and do loads of posture damage. But I kind of mess it up. Kind of missed the lightning as well. I'm not sure what happened there. So I got kind of lucky there. He's jumped in the air. He's doing a downward thrust. So the attacks are pretty much the same as the first two phases. Now I mistimed the block. Now, I don't know if you noticed that, but when he did the lightning, there's sort of an area of effect for the lightning. And as long as you're within that area, you can reflect the lightning. But I'm outside it now. You can see that circular bit of like sparks there. So if you're outside it, you can't reflect the lightning, but you can't get damaged by the lightning. Now, I've got hardly any health here now at all. So I really thought to myself, there's no way I'm going to beat him. But I just carried on anyway and just pressed the attack, hoping and praying that I could beat him. Again, he's going to do that thrust, Mikuri counter it. He's winding up for that flurry of attacks, just like he did in the first two phases. Spam defend, just the same. Now, again, you saw him crouch down and then jump in the air. Now, when he gets up high, I'm going to jump. So I've now jumped in the air. He's now hit me with the lightning. I'm charged with lightning. So now, before I hit the floor, I need to press the attack button to deflect it back at him. Which I do successfully. You can see he's all hit by the energy. He's stunned. So I can attack him, and it's done massive posture damage. And there you go. He's finished. Don't forget to do that second death blow. There will be two, one after the other. Lots of people forget to do that and lose the fight. Now, it's a tough fight. There are cheeses for this. There are cheese videos. I've got his memory now. Don't forget, go to your attack power, access that memory to increase your attack power to 4. Because otherwise you'd be at a disadvantage for the rest of the game. But yeah, there's cheese videos for this, but fighting him legit, I feel is kind of like a litmus test. If you can do that, then you're going to do well at the rest of the game. It's a real sense of achievement to beat him legit without cheesing it, and it's a great fight. Just be patient and don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't think to yourself, I've got to beat him this time. Just learn the attacks. It's going to take time. Be patient, and don't think, I've got to beat him. Just think, this is practice. I'm just learning the different attacks, and eventually you will start getting through that first phase without taking much damage, and that's when you'll realise, yes, I can actually do this now. I really hope you continue playing the game and enjoying it. Don't be too frustrated by this boss. Lots of people have trouble with it. You're not alone. I had trouble with it initially as well, but it's just a matter of learning all those attacks. Because the area you're fighting is quite small and it's quite aggressive, you have to push the attack. So if you don't really know his attacks that well, if you haven't learnt them, chances are he's going to destroy you. Once you've learnt these different attacks, not that many of them really, they don't vary much between each round either, each phase either. It's just the lightning to deal with at the end there. But yeah, other than that, it is quite a doable boss. Don't be put off by your initial attempts. Unless you're really good at the game, you're not going to beat him first time. It's not going to happen. So yeah, just be patient. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Yeah, and try and just enjoy the fight. And the more you do it, you will eventually tune into his different attacks. You'll tune into it, and before you know it, you'll have it done. Okay, so I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, a thumbs up would be really welcome. If you haven't subscribed, then please think about doing so. That'd be great. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, hopefully. Goodbye for now.